What's up, everybody? I'm George, and this is Marvelous Statues, the show where we get to unbox and review some of the coolest statues and collectibles known to man. And our anniversary week continues with a review of HMO Collectibles Mega Man X, so stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back. As I stated earlier, this is our anniversary week of Marvelous Statues, and we are continuing with a review of the HMO Collectibles Mega Man. Now, I've already done an unboxing video, so if you're looking for any measurements or weight, I suggest you guys go check that video out. But people have been asking me when I'm going to do the review, and we're doing it now. Reason why I took a little bit of time is because not only did I want to take and research this character a little bit more, because I played only the original version of Mega Man on Nintendo. I never actually played Mega Man X on Super Nintendo. So I felt that if I'm going to do a review on this, I need to take and play that video game. So I ran out and I downloaded the video game, and I've been playing it for about a week now. I've been having a blast. So I think I got a full understanding of what that game is about. This is the version of Mega Man that was released for Super Nintendo. So this is how Mega Man looked at the beginning of Mega Man X. And basically what we have here is a more dynamic look than he originally did in the original version of the game, because obviously it's a 16-bit video game and we're now translating this into a quarter scale statue. So there's a lot more detail in this big statue than there would be in that 16-bit video game way back when. But basically this is for the 30th anniversary of Mega Man, and HMO worked real closely with Capcom to bring us one of the best looking Mega Man statues I've ever seen. So without further ado, let's get into this review. All right, so before we get into the statue, let's talk about the box art. So this is the box from HMO. This is one hell of a box. Really love the way this thing came out. It's obviously Mega Man inspired, has kind of a blue print type of feel to it. So Farrah Jaffney did an amazing job with the look of this. HMO did an awesome job with the construction. This thing is a hard case. You have metal reinforced corners. Inside there's nice white foam with the strapping like you would expect to get from XM Studios. I mean, this thing is perfect. You know, has all of the credits on the back. Not to mention, this thing was also double boxed. So the outer boxing that I got from FedEx was a little bit beat up, but you know, thankfully, because it was double boxed, you know, I got the actual art box in perfect shape. So that's fantastic. So that's the box. What you get with the statue beyond the statue itself is a couple of different options for displaying the back. So you have these extra propulsor engines that you could put on the back, which weren't in the original video game. I think it was an addition to create a little bit more detail. And then you get the option to take that off, excuse me, and display it with this backing, which will give it more of the traditional Mega Man look. So pop that off right here. There's a very strong magnet that holds it in place. Put that there, and this goes this way. So you can have a more traditional looking Mega Man like that. You also get a set of instructions to help you put this together. It's laminated, or gloss paper, not laminated, but gloss paper. And shows you 30 different steps to taking and assembling the Mega Man statue. It's not 30 steps to actually put it together, but there's instructions on how to take apart these coverings, and I'll show you that as we get into the review. So that's what you get with the statue. So let's break into what the statue is all about. So first of all, let's take a look at the base. The base is inspired by the Mega Man X upgrade station. So in the video game, what would happen is that when Mega Man reached a certain point, he would step up on top of this base, and then he would get an additional armor piece. The suit for the Mega Man X is like a white looking suit. So you get different plates as you move along in the boards, and eventually he would become this almost all white armored Mega Man by the end of the game. So that's what the base is inspired by. I think it looks damn near identical to what I saw in the video game. I also played a upgraded version of the game on iOS, on the iPhone, so it had much more enhanced graphics. So it definitely looked very close to what I'm seeing right here. The base has some light up features, which is pretty cool. The top section here has a pulsating light, and then this plastic cover can actually be removed and you can expose the inner workings, which I think is pretty cool. So that's a nice option. Very nicely detailed, and the paint looks really cool on that as well. So awesome stuff. All right. So then moving on into Mega Man, because this is what it's all about. It's stunning. I think they did an amazing job. So one of the hardest things that these guys had to deal with was that Mega Man is a 16-bit character, or at least Mega Man X was 16-bit, 8-bit character as well. If you talk about the old version of Mega Man, so if you played the original versions of the game, I mean, he looked like this little blip on the screen. So there wasn't much to go by. They actually had to create a lot to make this detail that is in this statue here, and they did an awesome job. So you have a much more fluid, dynamic approach to Mega Man. He looks like he's leaping on to this upgrade station, which I think looks really cool. So there's some more curves than you would expect to get than you saw in the video game itself. So I think that's nice. Hard metal surfaces are extremely hard to sculpt, and mostly because you need to keep everything smooth. And when you're dealing with a more metallic, robotic type of character, it needs to look like it came out of a machine and needs to look perfect. And they did a really nice job with that. So lots of smooth areas, very nicely done. There's no dents anywhere, which I think is really cool. And then the paint on it is phenomenal. I mean, there's no blemishes. It looks very nice and clean and smooth, which I think is a very nice touch to the paint. So although this is meant to look like a nice clean surface, there are areas that give it the look like Mega Man's been in battle. So there's worn areas throughout the armor to give it that feeling that Mega Man's been in battle and working and that kind of thing. So I think that's kind of cool. The light up feature in the base translates up into the suit itself. So the headpiece, the helmet, has some light up areas. The gun or the propulsor also has some light up features. And then the back engines on the shoes or on the feet, they also light up, this one at least. So I think that's also very cool. This armor plate, like I showed you before, it comes off. It has a very strong magnet, like I stated earlier. So it does take a little bit to get off. And then this piece here, where you get the extra repulsor engines, it kind of like tucks in under like that, underneath the shoulder pad area. So, that kind of fits right in there. And the magnet is really strong, so that holds really good. So really nice. The portrait is outstanding. I was kind of worried about that when I saw the images originally, but now that I've seen this thing in person, I think they did a bang out job with the portrait. The line work around the eyes is perfect. It looks like a nice clean line. The eyes have a very focused look to him. His mouth's open. He's in the heat of battle, which I think is very cool. So the coloring on it is very vibrant. I think they did an awesome job. So, and if that wasn't enough, because this is a perfect looking piece in my opinion, they went above and board what they could have done, above and beyond, by adding these features that allow you to take apart the armor plates. And then the armor plates are actually got to have like a felt material on the inside to protect the inner workings here. So what's cool is that they went ahead and they designed the interior parts of Mega Man. You can see his inner metallic his mechanisms, which I think is really neat. So you can see how everything actually works. And this isn't something that you got to see in the video game. It's actually something that they had to add in because it being a quarter scale statue, you have to do something a little bit more than what you would see from the normal video game. So all of these pieces come off, and they have nice strong magnets that hold them together. So you don't have to worry about things breaking there. So it's very cool. Put that there. All right, and the gauntlet also has a part that comes off, which I think is cool too. I'm gonna take the whole thing off there, but yeah, that's how that looks. So very, very cool. Another cool feature about the way this thing was assembled is that the connections into the slots where the keys go into, like here. Pull this arm right out real quick. Okay. It has felt. So, you know, it has a nice strong cushion to keep it into place, which I think is a really nice touch. I think that's something that I've never seen done in other assemblies. So I think that's really cool. So that's basically what you get with the look of Mega Man. All right, so let's give this thing a rating. So in terms of packaging, I think they did an amazing job. You know, it's secure, it's an artistic piece of art, and they brought it to you extremely well packaged. You know, you have a double boxing, make sure that you get this thing in perfect shape, and not to mention that the inside has everything that you would get with XM Studios and more. So absolutely a 10 out of 10 as far as the packaging goes. Great work. Moving on to the sculpt. Also, I think they did a fantastic job. He looks just like Mega Man. I really like the concept that they did with the whole thing of having him look like he's jumping onto this charging station, but he's in the heat of battle, which I think is an awesome touch. And all of these little areas where you can see the mechanisms beneath the armor, the ability to take and remove the armor, I think that's just an amazing, amazing touch that they did to this piece. So 10 out of 10 for the sculpt. When it comes to the paint, also, this is near flawless paint. I think they did a great job with it. Lots of vibrant colors. There's no areas where you have any bleeding in it. All of the line work looks very sharp. I think they did an awesome job with that. So the paint also gets a 10 out of 10. And then in terms of value, I think also it's a great value for the person who loves this video game, who is into Mega Man, who's into video game statues in general. I think this is an amazing statue. So, you know, you don't get a whole lot of features, but the statue wasn't that expensive in the terms of a quarter scale statue. So for everything that you get, the boxing, the paint work, the statue itself, the light up features, all of these little extra parts that you can see and different ways that you could display it, I give the value also a 10 out of 10. So I would say that this one here is absolutely a marvelous statue. So great work, awesome stuff. All right, guys, that concludes our review of the Mega Man X statue by HMO Collectibles. Again, thank you for spending our anniversary week with us and all of the reviews and unboxings that we did. I hope you had a good time with all of that. I hope you had a great time with this review. And if you're looking to see any of our previous unboxings or previous reviews, check out mcecentral.com. You can see all of Marvelous Statues, reviews, unboxings, and a bunch of other information on there as well. You know, you have news, you have Statue Fanatic, you have Gem Mint. You have so many different things there that you can check out. So definitely go to mcecentral.com for all of that. If you're interested in chatting with us, my brother or myself, you definitely want to reach us through our social networks. You can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So check us out there. We're going to be coming back at you with more unboxing videos, more reviews just like this one. So stay tuned for all of that. And until then, keep it marvelous.